The arena is a cauldron of sound, a symphony of roars and cheers that reverberates off the rafters, the air thick with anticipation as the spotlight carves out a glowing stage in the center of the chaos. MASANORI Rikiishi, Japan's stoic warrior, strides toward the ring, his face a mask of focus, eyes like polished steel reflecting the weight of a nation's expectations. His lean frame moves with purpose, every step measured, a man who spent years honing his body into a weapon of precision. Across the canvas, Eduardo Nunez, Mexico's fiery brawler, bounces on his toes, his broad shoulders rolling, his scarred knuckles flexing with restless energy. The crowd feels it, the electricity of two worlds colliding, two fighters carrying the pride of their people into a battle that promises to be nothing short of legendary. This is no ordinary fight. This is MASANORI Rikiishi versus Eduardo Nunez. A clash of heart, skill, and unyielding will that will etch itself into the annals of boxing history. Rikiishi's presence is almost serene, a calm before the storm. Trained in the disciplined dojos of Tokyo, his style is a blend of art and science, every jab a brushstroke, every step a calculation. His footwork is hypnotic, a dance of angles and distance that keeps opponents guessing, always one step ahead. The Japanese fans in the stands wave banners emblazoned with kanji, their chants a steady pulse, a rhythm that mirrors Rikiishi's. Metronomic precision. To them, he's more than a fighter. He's a symbol of resilience, a man who embodies the spirit of a culture that values perseverance above all. His record 28 wins, 19 by knockout, speaks to the devastating power behind his measured strikes, a paradox of grace and violence. But tonight, he faces a force unlike any other, a man who fights not with strategy, but with raw, unbridled passion. Nunez is a tempest, a whirlwind of aggression forged in the gritty rings of Mexico City. His broad chest heaves with every breath, his eyes burning with a hunger that borders on feral. His style is unpolished, almost primal, but terrifyingly effective hooks that could shatter concrete, uppercuts that defy physics, and a relentless pace that grinds opponents into dust. The Mexican fans in the crowd are a sea of red, white, and green, their voices a thunderous chant of Nunez, Nunez, that shakes the arena. He carries their dreams, their struggles, their unbreakable pride, fighting not just for himself, but for every kid who's ever thrown a punch in a back alley gym, every family that's fought to survive. With 25 wins, 22 by knockout, Nunez is a human wrecking ball, and he's come to dismantle Rikiishi's carefully constructed game plan. The referee summons them to the center, and the stare-down is a moment frozen in time. Rikiishi's gaze is steady, unblinking, a quiet intensity. That speaks of absolute control. Nunez's eyes are fire, his lips twitching into a defiant smirk, as if daring Rikiishi to match his fury. The crowd's noise fades to a distant hum, the world narrowing to these two men, their fates bound by the ropes around them. The bell rings and the arena erupts, a tidal wave of sound crashing over the ring as the fight begins. Round 1 is a study in contrasts. Rikiishi circles, his gloves high, his movements fluid yet precise, like a fencer probing for an opening. His jab flicks out, quick and sharp, testing Nunez's guard, measuring his reactions. Nunez, undaunted, stalks forward, his own jab heavier, less refined, but carrying the weight of a sledgehammer. The first minute is cautious, a chess match of feints and counters, but Nunez breaks the rhythm with a sudden left hook that grazes Rikiishi's cheek. The crowd gasps, then roars, sensing the fight's first spark. Rikiishi doesn't flinch. He answers with a crisp 1-2, the second punch snapping Nunez's head back, a reminder that precision can cut deeper than power. The Japanese fans cheer, their voices rising in a wave of pride. Nunez presses forward, cutting off the ring, his punches coming in flurries, wild, dangerous, and unrelenting. Rikiishi slips most of them, his head movement a blur, but a body shot lands, a thudding blow that draws a brief wince. The Mexican fans explode, their flags waving like a storm-tossed sea. Rikiishi pivots, using the ropes to his advantage, and lands a straight right that catches Nunez on the jaw. For a moment, the Mexican's knees buckle, and the crowd holds its breath. The bell rings, saving Nunez from further punishment, and the fighters retreat to their corners, the arena buzzing with the intensity of what's to come. In Rikiishi's corner, his trainer, a grizzled veteran with eyes like a hawk, speaks in low, measured tones. "Control the distance, Masanori," he says, adjusting his fighter's gloves. "Make him chase you. It's a strategy built on patience, on wearing Nunez down with movement and precision." Across the ring, Nunez's corner is a whirlwind of energy, his trainer shouting in Spanish, urging him to break the machine. Nunez nods, sweat dripping from his brow, his chest heaving, but his eyes alight with defiance. He's not here to outsmart Rikiishi. He's here to overwhelm him, to turn the ring into a battlefield where only the strongest survive. Round 2 sees Nunez come out swinging, his punches looser, more reckless, but carrying terrifying force. A right hook slams into Rikiishi's ribs, and the Japanese fighter's guard dips for a fraction of a second. Nunez seizes the moment, unleashing a barrage that forces Rikiishi to cover up, his back brushing the ropes. The crowd is on its feet, the Mexican fans chanting louder, sensing a shift. But Rikiishi's composure holds. He slips a wild uppercut, pivots to the center, and lands a counter-left hook that staggers Nunez. The Japanese fans erupt, their banners waving furiously. It's a statement. Power alone won't win this fight. The rounds unfold like a saga, each one a new chapter in a story of heart and grit. Rikiishi's strategy is clear. Keep Nunez at bay, frustrate him with movement, and strike when openings. Peer. His jabs are relentless, a steady rhythm that peppers Nunez's face, forcing him to reset again and again. But Nunez is a force of nature, absorbing punishment and firing back with hooks and uppercuts that shake the ring. By round 4, both men bear the marks of battle. Rikiishi's cheek is swollen. Nunez's eye is cut, blood trickling down his face. The referee pauses to check the cut, but Nunez waves him off, his pride refusing to let the fight stop. The crowd feeds off this defiance, their cheers a constant pulse, pulling you deeper into the drama. Round 5 is a turning point. Nunez, frustrated by Rikiishi's elusiveness, shifts to a brutal body attack, his fists hammering Rikiishi's midsection. With sickening thuds, each shot sounds like a drumbeat, and for the first time, Rikiishi's legs wobble, his breath catching in his throat. The Mexican fans roar, their voices shaking the arena, sensing a knockout in the air. But Rikiishi digs deep, his discipline unyielding. He lands a 3-punch combination, jab, cross, hook that snaps Nunez's head back, silencing the crowd for a moment. It's a display of resilience, a refusal to break under pressure, and the Japanese fans chant louder, their faith in their champion unshaken. The fight becomes a brutal ballet, a dance of violence and strategy. Rikiishi's precision keeps him in control, his jabs and footwork frustrating Nunez's attempts to close the distance. But Nunez's power is a constant threat, his punches landing with bone-rattling force whenever he finds his mark. By round 8, both men are visibly exhausted, their movements slower, their punches heavier with the weight of fatigue. Nunez lands a monstrous uppercut that sends Rikiishi stumbling into the ropes, and for a moment, the fight seems on the verge of ending. The crowd screams, a mix of shock and excitement, but Rikiishi's heart refuses to yield. He clinches, buying precious seconds, then comes back with a flurry of punches that find Nunez's jaw, his gloves a blur under the lights. The corners work feverishly between rounds. Rikiishi's trainer ices his swelling face, his voice calm but urgent, urging him to stick to the plan. Nunez's team patches his cut, their shouts a mix of encouragement and desperation, knowing their fighter is running on fumes. Both men are battered, their bodies pushed to the limit, but neither will back down. This is boxing at its rawest test of who can endure, who can push past pain, who can find something extra when nothing remains. Round 10 is a slugfest, a clash of wills that leaves the crowd breathless. Nunez, sensing his chance, throws everything into a relentless assault, his punches wild but heavy, each one carrying the weight of his dreams. Rikiishi, bloodied but unbowed, answers with counters that sting, his discipline holding against the storm. The two men trade blows in the center of the ring, neither willing to give an inch, their gloves flashing under the lights. The crowd is delirious, caught in the ebb and flow of a fight that refuses to follow a script. The bell rings and both fighters raise their gloves, defiant, as if daring the other to keep coming. The final rounds are a testament to the human spirit. Rikiishi's legs are heavy, his jabs slower but still sharp, keeping Nunez at bay. Nunez, his face a mask of blood and sweat, keeps pushing forward, his hooks landing with sickening force. The crowd can't look away, every punch a potential game-changer. In round 12, with seconds ticking down, Nunez lands a right hand that rocks Rikiishi, the Japanese fighter's knees buckling for a moment. But Rikiishi responds with a combination that leaves Nunez swaying, his gloves finding their mark. With surgical precision, the bell rings and the arena erupts, the fighters embracing in a moment of mutual respect that transcends the violence. The judge's decision hangs in the air, but the crowd doesn't care. They've witnessed something extraordinary, a fight that wasn't just about winning, but about proving something deeper. Rikiishi and Nunez have left everything in the ring, their bodies battered, their spirits unbroken. The announcer's voice cuts through the noise, but it's almost secondary. This fight was about heart, about pride, about the unspoken bond between two warriors who pushed each other to the edge. As the crowd files out, still buzzing, you can't help but feel the weight of what you've seen. Rikiishi and Nunez didn't just fight. They told a story, one of courage, resilience, and the unbreakable human spirit. The highlights replay in your mind, each moment vivid and alive. Rikiishi's jabs, snapping like a whip, carving out space. In the chaos, Nunez's hooks, heavy and relentless, a storm that refused to be tamed. The crowd's roars rising and falling like waves, carrying the fighters forward. This is why boxing captivates, why it draws us in, why we can't look away. It's not just a sport, it's a mirror, reflecting the best and worst of us, the struggle, the triumph, the refusal to quit. And as you think back on this fight, one thing is clear. Masanori Rikiishi versus Eduardo Nunez was more than a match. It was a masterpiece, a battle that will live on in the hearts of those who saw it, a reminder of what it means to fight for something bigger than yourself.